How's it going, everybody? I hope you're having an amazing day or evening. In this video, I want to talk a little bit more about how you can make your website a little bit more responsive. And that's one of the biggest complaints that Wix users have is that a lot of the times your website don't display correctly on different size monitors. So that's very important because sometimes you might be designing your website on a 32-inch monitor, but when somebody sees it on an 18-inch laptop, it might not look the same. So how do you improve those things? How do you make sure that your text doesn't go over? And I'm gonna show you some tricks, and also I'm gonna provide you with some tools that Wix already has in their system that you can use. And I'm just gonna show you the best ways to use them. Also, I'm gonna help you by providing you with a source that you can optimize your pictures. That way, if you're adding a lot of content to your website, it's not gonna slow it down, and you're gonna keep that speed going. So that's also very important. So let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing you wanna always do whenever you're working on a Wix website, and mostly if you're working on a classic editor, which is the regular version of Wix, not the editor X, um, you gotta make sure you build everything in sections. And this is gonna help you for two things. One is gonna keep everything more organized, and two, whenever you go to the mobile responsive section or the mobile version that Wix has, everything is going to be easier to adjust. A lot of the times you start using a template and you don't realize you delete things and you don't know how everything was placed there. So sometimes it's even easier to start from scratch because then you can build everything and you know where everything is. When you use a template, a lot of the times, yeah, it looks good, but many times you don't know how everything was set. And then once you start doing your own content, it will start getting all messy. So once you get a blank template, you should only have your header and your footer and then the middle section. So what I like to do is I'm not gonna start adding content right away to this right here because this is kind of like the canvas. This is what's gonna be the background or your whole page. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add this strip right here, and then I'm just gonna drop it there. And then you're gonna see these two little tools right here, the drag. So you can just drag it all the way to the top and it will hit where the next section starts. Now, if you use the current tool that's available right now, you can move it on top of the footer or the menu, and it's going over, as you can see you can go over, but that's also a problem because you can be putting things on top of other layers, and that's not a good thing. So just keep that in mind. So that's our menu, and to make sure we know what it is, we're gonna change the color. We're just gonna make it a little bit darker. There you go. And then you have again the strip that you just added, and then just use this tool right here to drag it to where it hits the next level. And now we can start working on this. The first thing is you should kind of already know, and if this is your first time building websites, you can also look another page and get some inspiration. So let's say you want to add a title and some text. One of the things you want to do is when you add your text, right? If we add it right now, and let's say we add a button, one of the things that's going to happen is right now you're just adding it in the center. As you can see, there's two lines right here. But then if we move the screen and we click preview, this is what's going to happen. Is like not adjusting correctly. So the more content you're going to be adding in this side right here, things are not going to work the right way. So what I like to do is if you're planning to add more content on this side, I would not keep it in the middle. I will divide this strip right here. So all you gotta do is just do a click on top, and you're gonna see this menu right here. You see the change strip background, the scroll effects, and the layout. So once you click on layout, you can add a column, and now you have two. So it duplicated that one. So what you can do here is in this side, you can add, let's say, your text. And on this other section, you can add an image. So what you want to do is once you click image, we're going to add just a random picture right now. So we're going to go here and it's loading. Okay, so let's say we're going to add this picture right here. And for some reason, it added twice. So we're going to delete that one. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to place it in the next section. Now, as you can see, there's a blue button at the top that says attach to column. If you just drag it right here and you didn't attach this, once you're on a live, or when your website is live, if your computer is bigger than other monitors, this is what's going to happen. And this is how you can test and see if it's working correctly, is by just minimizing your screen, and you can adjust it. And as you can see, it's now moving according to the page, and that's because the image is not attached to that section. Now, the common thing that happens is people tend to do this. So let's say we're gonna add more text and we're gonna add another image. So we're gonna add here. Let's say we're gonna add it right here. I'm gonna move this right here. Okay, so let's say it's right there. It's closer. Now we're gonna go to the preview and watch what's gonna happen. So on your monitor, it looks good, but when somebody else just goes to your website that has even a smaller monitor or a bigger monitor, this is not gonna work correctly. And that's the problem. You just build your website based on the size that your computer or your monitor is. So if you're building on a laptop, it's gonna be completely different. That's why it's very important that you use the layouts that are within the page. So what I will do is go back to the editor. And as you can see, I have two sections because I created two. And I'm gonna grab the image and I'm gonna attach it. So once I put it right here, it's attached to this section. And now I can click preview. And as you can see, it stopped right there. So even though, let's say this computer it's smaller, it didn't went over the text, and that's what you want to do. So that's something that you want to do whenever you're building a website, is to make sure that everything is attached to the specific section that you have. Now if you want to not have that much big of a space, you can add one more section. So we're going to delete this. I'm going to delete this right here, and we're going to add, click on manage columns, layout, and then add one more. So now you have two columns right here. And then in order for you to have something really cool, you can always do something like this. Click on layout, and you can adjust the proportions of the page. So as you can see here, you have 17%, 17%, and now you have this right here. So on this section in the middle, you can add, let's say, an image. So let's do this guy's right here. And then on this side right here, we can add something like a text. So let's say I want to add a text. Now, because it's too long, I can create my own style. Click on edit text, go to vertical, and then right here. And then I can always spin this too. And I'm going to drag it and make sure it's attached to this box right here. And then on this section, I can add an image of, let's say, my logo. So I can go here. And if I don't have my logo right there, I can just add something like a image right here. So let's say we're gonna add this color right here. Make sure again it's attached to the box. So now we're gonna go to preview, and it should look something like this. As you can see, everything adjusts according to the size of the monitor. So that's very important. And the better you do this, the better your website is gonna look. So that way you're never gonna have those problems of like things overlapping or going on top of everything. So that's why the layouts are very important. Then the other tool that you can also use whenever you're building a website is this one right here, which is gonna be the Pro Gallery. So when you go on Pro Galleries, this thing is gonna adjust very nice. So you can always use this for sections. So the first thing we wanna do is delete the ones that we don't need. And we're gonna create, let's say, 3 sections. And let's leave only 3 pictures. There you go. So now but we also need another section right here because we don't want it attached to this strip. So we're gonna go back here, gonna go to strip, and we're gonna just drop it at the bottom. So now as you can see, you have this section right here and this new section, and you can stretch this and drag your gallery right here. And then what you want to do is go on settings, the layout, you can change it according to your needs. But you can also do different designs. You can do overlays. So you can, let's say, do a color. And then, as you can see, now you have some effects that you can be adding. So this makes it also really cool for your website. So you can add an image. You can also add some text. But now one of the cool things about this Pro Gallery is that whenever you're creating something for a different size monitor, because you never know where the clients or the users are going to be coming from. So they can be on a computer, a laptop. So you want to make sure it arranges properly. As you can see there, everything is playing really good. And that's one of the things that I always look for whenever we start working with new teams that are going to help us build some websites is I ask them for samples, and then the first thing I look is for this. If their website is not as responsive, then I right away know that they don't know how to do things. And again, it's very important because you never know where the user is going to come from a laptop, from a big monitor. So you want to make sure your computer, I mean, your screen gets arranged properly and it looks nice. So no matter if your screen is this small or this big, everything is going to arrange correctly. So that's good for this section. We're gonna add one more. And now on this strip right here, I'm gonna show you another tool that you can use. So you're gonna go where it says list and grids, and you can use this tool right here. So you're gonna drag it right here. And the cool thing about this one right here is you can add an image, add an icon, and this is very responsive. So you don't have to do much because you can design one little box and make copies of them. But the best part is that whenever you're working with this, it will adjust. It won't get messed up. So that's something that I like about those boxes. But it's totally up to you if you want to use this way, or you just want to make sure to use the layouts. So we can add a column. You can also do only left, and right away it will be like split into 2. And again, another thing that you can do with this is once you click on this one, you can change the half section and add still some content on the top. So let's say we're gonna let's add this one right here. So, oh, Sorry. We gotta add a column. There you go. So once you have your column right here, you can change that specific, background. And this is something also that is gonna look good once you're going from size to, small to big or vice versa. As you can see here, the image arranges itself, and that's because you added the background in that specific layout. So that's why it's really cool to use those tools, because it will adjust according and your website is gonna look good. So that's how you can do it. And then, oh, close it by accident, but it's okay. We're gonna start with a new one. So again, once you do that part, just make sure you add a layout. You can add 4 or 5, depends on how many you need. And this is really cool because again, it's gonna give you a lot of advantage on what your website is gonna look like. If you're working with a template, sometimes the templates that Wix have available, sometimes they're not as responsive. So just keep that in mind whenever you're using one of their templates. I know it was built by professionals, but a lot of times I notice they have missed those things. So we're gonna use this one and I'm gonna show you. So we're gonna go here. And as you can see, this one does adjust very nice. And as you go down here, it adjusts also very nice. So one thing you can do also is to learn more about how everything was built. You can just go on that template, click edit, and then you can see exactly what they did, how it was built. So you have those two options. You can use a template, you can build your own. If you build your own, it's much easier again because then you know how everything is. So as you can see, there's 2 layouts. He has 2 right here, and everything is on this section. On this one right here, they added a strip. And as you scroll down here, this is also a strip. And what they did is they added 1, 2, 3, and 4 sections. So once we go on layout, you're gonna go see manage columns. Sorry, you're gonna see there's 2. And in this last one, they just added a layout in the middle, and that's how it is there. This one is just 2 again, and that's it. That's why it's very responsive, because everything is divided correctly. Now, again, a lot of the times when you start using these templates, it's very easy to just come here and be like, well, I don't like this image, and you delete it, and then you decide to add a new image, right? But what you didn't realize is you also deleted the box, so the container where the picture was, and now your website is gonna start getting messy. So that's why it's very important that whenever you delete something, you only delete the thing that you don't like, but also make sure that there's if there's a box or there's some type of container, you don't take that down. Okay, so now I'm gonna show you the tool that I promised you. So let me pull it up for you. And let me log in really quick. Trying to find it. Yeah. So the tool is called Short Pixel, and a Short Pixel is free up to, I believe, 50 pictures. So if you go here where it says pricing, it will give you the pricing. There you go. So it's free for 100 images. So as long as you don't do 100 images per month, which I think it's kind of hard to do. I don't even do 100 pictures per month. You can, optimize a lot. So it's very easy. You can sign up and then just use the free version. And then you want to go to where it says compress. And once you're here, it even explains to you what kind of sections they have, right? So they have the loosey, glossy, and looseless. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but it pretty much tells you which option you want to go for. But I want to give you a quick example. So we're going to use glossy and we're going to upload a picture. So let's select this one right here. And you're gonna see the difference. Right now it's 0.6 megabytes. Sometimes pictures are heavier. Sometimes you'll have pictures that are 20 megabytes. And as you can see, it went from zero point 0.6 to 0.4. So that's a big drop. And this is gonna help your website, look good, but you also don't lose the speed because you're adding so much pictures. And also the load time is gonna be very good. So we're gonna add another picture. Let's see this one right here. This one is 11 megabytes. Imagine having this image on your website, the amount of time that's gonna start taking on the page to load. So that's why this tool is very important that you use to kind of like cut on the percentage of the weight of the picture. And as you can see right now, we have it on this section right here, which is glossy, and it says it's best choice if you still care about Google Insights, but you believe that a slight loss of a page speed is acceptable. So this one is not even completely making your picture look really bad. It's just like kind of taking a little bit away. But as you can see, it went from 11 megabytes to 0.8 megabytes. And when you click on it, the picture still looks really good. There's one option, as you can see here, it shows you what the difference is from the original. And as you can see, it definitely it's hard to tell, unless you're like watching the image, which sometimes it's not gonna happen. But you have the other option if you care a little bit about like the quality and the brightness and everything, then you can use the other one, which is gonna be this one right here. So for this is for better, it looks better, it doesn't take that much of the weight, or you can use this one. So you can read this whenever you have time, but again, you can just go to shortpixel.com and you can use this tool anytime. It definitely helps. It will improve the speed of your website. And again, hopefully this video helped you a lot and it can help your website as well. And if you have questions, just please let me know and I'll be very happy to answer anything, you need. So yeah, send me a comment and I'll see you in the next video.